Right then everybody, today we're going to do two different kinds of hauls. One of them has arrived, the other one we're going to go and get. Once again, for what feels like at this point a weekly event, I'm driving to Cannock, because for some reason Cannock always has stuff that I need. One game they've had for a while, but it's a Switch game, and Switch games are a whole... Nintendo in general is a whole thing where the prices just don't come down ever. So I don't know why I keep procrastinating buying it, but something else that I do need that is uncommon has appeared at my local Cannock CEX. So gonna drive there, get that, pull the trigger on the Switch game that I've been looking at for ages, and then come home and do two hauls. One is the CEX haul, one is another kind of haul. You'll see that one once we're back, I suppose. Also, I didn't sell this one in a video because it was only one game, but I did pop into CEX the other day and pick up Saints Row the 3rd remastered, so now I've got 3 and 4 remastered, so when it comes time to do my Saints Row playthrough soon, because I've got that itch, I've got the best versions of each one to play. Turns out, I think I mentioned this in another video, that Saints Row 1 doesn't even have a PlayStation port, so I'd be playing Saints Row 1 on Series X, and then Saints Row 2, I've got choices. I could play that on Series X, or I could play it on PS3. Series X is probably better, I'm not sure. And then I'll switch over to the PlayStation 4 for 3 and 4, and I will not be playing that weird one that came out a couple of years ago that just... yeah, nobody wants that one. Also, while we're here, it's been a while, but isn't it cool? I love this. This is one of my favourite things in my room. I still need to go around and dust stuff from when the aircon was put in, though. It's not looking good. I want to buy like a proper cleaning kit. Like, you know when you watch YouTubers professionally clean PCs? I want all that stuff so that I can clean everything properly. Something else that's new in the setup, I suppose, since I last showed it off, was I now have my Wii plugged in and set up. So I switched over my HD Retrovision cables to the Wii ones, so because annoyingly, despite the fact the component is the same on this end, the cable that enters the console is different between the Wii and the PS2, so you have to have a whole separate different cable, and they're like £35 each cables. But anyway, I've set up the Wii with the RetroTink, and the good thing about the Wii is, and I didn't remember this or didn't realise this, is that it does actually have a widescreen aspect ratio. It's 16:9, whereas the PS2 doesn't, so the PS2, no matter what you do, will almost always have some sort of letterboxing going on, whereas the Wii doesn't have that, so I thought that was pretty cool. So yesterday I had a few games of like Wii Sports, and I even tried out Resident Evil 4, if we come around here, Resident Evil 4 for the Wii, and that was some fun too, because I remember it was like one of the first Let's Plays I ever watched was a dude playing through Resident Evil 4 on YouTube. Good times. I'm looking vascular today, don't know what's going on there. Right then, let's go. You'd think at this point that I could do this drive without the sat-nav, but you'd be wrong. I still put... I mean, I could probably do it without the sat-nav, but the sat-nav means that I'm not going to do it wrong. Like, one wrong turn in, and all of a sudden I'm going the wrong direction on the... I did that once. I went on a day trip to a different gym, and on the way home, the junctions to the motorway to go north and south were like right there next to each other, and it was like you had to take a weird left to go the correct way. And I missed it, so I ended up going the wrong way at the motorway in the opposite direction away from home, and had to come off at the next junction and turn around. That was annoying. So now we just use the sat-nav. I'm only in a t-shirt again, because that's sort of just the person that I am. But apparently, it says it's 18 degrees. It didn't necessarily feel like 18 degrees. And the rain is not supposed to be raining. So here's hoping that it's the same in Cannock. What the bloody hell is going on the other side of that fence? Anyway, I'll see you in Cannock. Right then, so just made it to Asda. I always park at Asda in Cannock, and the fuel is always so much cheaper. I need to start fueling up here before I head home, because the fuel here is a solid 5-6p cheaper than where I'm at. That would make the difference possibly between the drive and not the drive. But the weather's holding up, and that was a pretty smooth drive here. Like, for some reason, the road after you get off the motorway before you get here, people don't seem to ever go the speed limit. It's a 50. And it's very rare we get above 40. But today, people were actually doing the speed limit, which is nice. For once. There's a road near me that's exactly the same. It's a 50, but you never get above 40. There'll be 0 other cars on there, but it's fine. It's fine. Right, let's go to CEX, shall we? You know, there's not much more awkward than when you're walking behind somebody on a narrow path. Clearly walking much quicker than them, but there's no point overtaking them, because you're both going to take the same next turn. Because that happens a lot. It happened just now. There's little doggies. You guys can't see them, but there's doggies. This weather is good enough. If it could just be like this weather all the time, I'd cope pretty well. Mild breeze, decent temperature, no rain. It'll do. I don't need sun. I just need not wet and not too warm with a bit of a breeze. And we're here. A lot of people around for a Monday afternoon. There's one we needed. I think that's just 62 quid for Deadpool, so I paid like 30. That's getting crazy. I do need another Batman, but I'm not getting it in platinum. Absolutely not. Also beginning to think that the Dead Space 2 limited edition wasn't that limited, because it's everywhere. That Hellboy game looks interesting. That one there. This game is just absolutely everywhere. It is. I see it everywhere. Right then, back in the car. I got like 3 games, so one more than I meant to. Luckily, everything that I wanted, was in there. Let's drive home, and then we'll do this haul, and then the super special haul that is going to become a monthly thing. We'll see. Right guys, I'm home, and before I start with the game haul, let me do this £300 haul of stuff I've got behind me here, while Ruby moans in the kitchen. A lot of people are under the assumption that I'm sponsored by CEX. I'm not. I wish I was, because that'd save me a ton of money. Who I am sponsored by, though, is My Protein. And they give me a voucher every month to get stuff with. Let me show you what I got this month, shall we? And if you guys use My Protein, be sure to use code KALE. Send me screenshots of any orders you make over on Instagram, because they give me a £200 voucher to give out to somebody that does. Right then, so in box number 1, and we have 2 boxes, we have got 10, is it 4-packs or 6-packs? 10 4-packs of the Jimmy's iced coffee collab with My Protein. Now, typically when My Protein do collabs, they don't stock it on their website. It's stocked on the original person's website, so Jimmy's. So normally I wouldn't be able to get this, but at the minute it is on the My Protein website, so I was. And like I said, we have got 10 of these, so this is a pretty heavy box because, you know, liquid whey stuff. But then the more interesting box, perhaps over here, is just full of protein bars and the like. So we've got 3 boxes of buttered popcorn layered bars. I'm not entirely sure why they're open. I mean, maybe the postman got hungry and had a snack. And then after that, if we do this one first, we've got a new t-shirt, men's oversized. All of my t-shirts are oversized except for like the one I'm wearing. We got some lean layered bars, which are the lower calorie ones. And again, I'm not quite sure why they're open on both sides. Like, has Posty been hungry? I do have a habit of, anytime tradesmen do work at the house, I feed them protein bars because I've got an everlasting supply. Like, you guys know that I had the air conditioning done the other day. Well, the electrician that worked for the company that came said that he followed me, so I sent him away with some protein stuff. Okay, next up we've got some peanut butter impact bars, the white chocolate raspberry layered bars, we got some peanut butter wafers, we got some double chocolate baked cookies. These are great. These might as well just be cookies because they're so high calorie and so little protein that they are just basically cookie with a bit of protein. Like, typically the higher calorie something is, the nicer it's going to taste, you know? Next up, we got the 38 protein cookies. So these taste not as good as the ones that I just showed you, but have like 3 times the protein. So it's the trade-off that you make. And we got 2 boxes of those, the Rocky Road flavour. Then I've got 3 boxes of the regular chocolate chip baked cookies, 1, 2, and 3. And then under here we've got another box of double chocolate cookies, and a cookie and cream wafer. And then over here we've got 2 tubs of clear whey protein powder in Vimto flavour, which is definitely the best flavour. And it used to not be in stock all the time because it was limited edition, but now I think it's like a permanent collaboration because it's always around and has been for at least a year. So if you can get some, I would recommend it. I tell you what, I am absolutely sweating now because I've just done that unboxing 3 times. I did it for both of my different TikTok accounts that I'm bothered about, and also this version of it. So I've unboxed it all, talked about it, put it on the floor, showed it off, put it back in the box and repeated now 3 times. The TikTok versions were much more extensive than the YouTube version. I just have my protein stuff absolutely scattered just everywhere throughout the kitchen. Like, the cupboards are inundated. It's great. Right, now for the bit that you actually are bothered about, the games that I brought at CEX. So like I said, I only got 3 this time, so let me show you what I got. So first I got Dragon Ball FighterZ. This one has been hard to get. A lot of the Dragon Ball games are just harder to get than you'd think. So this now leaves me with just Breakers, Battle of Z, and Raging Blast 2 for the PlayStation 3. Once I've got those, I think I've got the complete collection of the ones that I'm bothered to own anyway. Then, after that, I got Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. I don't know how uncommon this is, but I remember enjoying the original game when it came out, and I presume this is a remake, and it was only a £5, so why not? And then third, this is one that I look at a lot. It seems to be, even though it's a new release, like it only came out a few months ago, it seems to not be very common, like I can never find it. But there is always one in Cannock, and I always contemplate getting it, look at it, think it's 38 quid, do I really want it? Especially when I don't even really play the Switch, but then I do want it. So Dragon Quest Monsters is basically Dragon Quest X Pokemon, except you tame monsters and you can fuse them together and increase their power, and it's all very cool. And I remember when I was younger, there was a DS game called Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, and I'd play that all the time. And I remember thinking I wish it had got like proper sequels, because it did get a couple of sequels. I think one of them only released outside of, like they didn't release here. But this is like a modern sequel, so win. So only 3 new games to the collection today, but it was worth it because of Dragon Ball. It was difficult to get. Would have been a pretty cheap haul too if it wasn't for Dragon Quest. Interesting, both have Akira Toriyama's influence because he did the artwork for Dragon Quest and Dragon Ball. Rest in peace to that great man. Now I need to go and let the dog out because she's been moaning in the kitchen the entire time that I've been doing these hauls in here. She doesn't like it when She doesn't like it when anyone's in the living room and she's not. She gets very jealous. So let's go deal with that, have my lunch, and then go to the gym. And of course, we can't have a video without Ruby saying hello to the camera, can we? Hello. You don't need... Why do you always jump? Why do you always jump whenever I get the camera out? It's okay. Just blankets everywhere. I remember when we moved into this house and the kitchen was so clean, and now the kitchen's basically just your house. Just anything you want goes in here. Yeah? Paw? Paw? Good girl. Good girl. Nothing going on between her eyes though. Nothing at all. Look at them ears. I'll tell you what is getting annoying is, you know on CEX you can set stock alerts so that when something that is out of stock comes back in, you get an email. Well, at the minute, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battle Nexus, whatever, the middle TMNT game that I'm after, it keeps coming back into stock, but in the same CEX, it's like Bedford. But then I get the email for that, but if I order it, it clearly isn't a real copy. Like there's a reprinted cover or there's something up with it, which means they don't want to send it out to people that use e-commerce. And that annoys me because this is a decently rare game. I don't feel like PS2 games should get reprinted covers and things like that. PS3 and above, fine. But PS2, it's like, stop it. Because I can't order this game. And every time it's in stock, it's the one that they refuse to send out, but they keep putting it in stock. And the price keeps going up as well. I think I've paid for it now 3 times and had it cancelled 3 times. And twice now the price has gone up. I think it was like 25 and then it was 28. And I think it might be like 31 now. The same thing happened yesterday with Killzone HD. Killzone HD is so difficult to find. Killzone 2 and 3 cost like £1 and £1.50 each. Killzone 1 HD costs £65 because it's just an incredibly rare game. It has been out of stock the vast majority of the time that I've seen it at CEX. And then yesterday it was in stock. I stuck it in my basket and then it just updated my basket saying it was out of stock again. So I don't know what happened there. I presume maybe somebody beat me to buying it, maybe. But I feel like once it's in your basket, it's like yours for 10 minutes until it times out. But either way, I did not get lucky with that one. And then on top of that, there's a few other games that I'm probably going to have to order. I don't like ordering games. I'd prefer to drive to places and get out the house and do stuff because except for going to the gym, I don't get opportunity to go out the house very much. So it's just traveling to CEX is fun for me. So I'd rather travel to collect games than I would rather have them delivered. But there's some stuff like the Sly Cooper trilogy, like Resident Evil Survivor 2. What else? Prince of Persia HD trilogy. There's some Zone of Enders HD. There's a few things right now that I've been after for quite a while that are just nowhere near me and not in a reasonable drive either. So it's like I'm probably going to have to order them as much as I don't want to. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it for today's CEX vlog. I obviously didn't get very much, but I thought I'd film it anyway. I feel like this is a shorter video. I don't know until I upload it because I obviously just record the clips and then stick them all in the editing software and see how long it ends up being. I often have to use DaVinci Resolve's vocal isolator to remove the background music whenever I'm in CEX. So you know when I'm talking in CEX, if my audio ever seems a little bit strange, it's because the vocal isolator's having trouble deciphering my voice from like background noise. Because obviously I can't have music playing in a video that's monetized, otherwise it gets demonetized. And because I obviously speak pretty quietly when I'm in CEX, it isn't so clear to the AI or whatever it's using to remove the background noise that I am like the subject speaker to keep in. But yeah, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you later.